In January 2006, the Muslim world raged at Denmark. One of its newspapers had published cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad. Idolatry forbidden by the Quran, free expression permitted under Danish law. In the decades since, Danes have become terrorist targets and jihadis themselves. The response has been unique and started here in Aarhus. Denmark's second city has a large Muslim community and a problem with radicalisation. To solve it, authorities start early. We've come to this radicalisation workshop for teenagers. It's not theory for some of them.
Many of my neighbours has been radicalised, and it crushes my heart every time I hear about a neighbour that has lost his life, his or her life in battle.
Superintendent Alan Oslev has been one of the driving forces behind what's known around the world as the Aarhus model.
Basically, the problem is, do you only want to focus on punishing people, or do you also want to focus on preventing?
The aim is to find those heading for trouble and simply talk to them before any crime has taken place.
When we approach them and invite them to come into our program and listen to them, we can see that extremism disappears in those good cases, or it diminishes at least.
It requires manpower and cooperation across different departments that many countries might struggle to match, though its methods are mostly traditional.
We do not have experiences telling us that people get radicalized just online and nothing else. They normally get radicalized through a group, perhaps a small group.
Success is hard to quantify. This is a long-term process. A few days in the Gellerup neighbourhood, though, and it becomes clear the issue is not resolved. The Aarhus model's end goal is dialogue, and yet it's proven extremely difficult to find people here willing to talk to us on camera. Despite all of the resources poured into this pioneering work, you sense a resurgent tension in this community, a feeling still of not being entirely understood. This is the Gremhøj Mosque. Many who left to join IS came here first. Its Salafist imam has been cooperating with authorities. Osama el-Sadi's views are highly controversial.
I don't talk about the Islamic State now. I talk about the idea of caliphate, yes.
But he is a direct link to a radical scene authorities want to reach. El-Sadi's commitment to the process seems to be flagging.
When we started this project, it was a security situation, and we have to try to talk to the youngs and make some difference. But now it's a big thing. Now it's a war, and the decision have been taken from the big countries, and they want to make this war anyway.
I've been living here since the 90s. Yeah. It's about 27 years.
Mohammed Hassan runs a committee that includes parents who've lost children to jihad. Hassan too is losing faith.
Is the Aarhus model working?
No.
He believes giving al-Sadi a say adds to the problem.
Is it your impression that there is still a risk or a threat in this community, that there are people who would still look to be harming others?
Yeah, there are.
You think it's a real threat?
Yeah, I think it's a real threat, but the threat it's impossible to see.
The project's co-director tells us any exclusion could be dangerous too.
The greatest enemy is to make polarizations between groups of inhabitants in the same country. You have to make people together to make dialogues, so you know each other's opinions.
Yeah. That understanding is present, but still has limits. After 10 years of talking,
Denmark back in the days took them in as they were their own.
Some in this community seem to want action more than words. Guy Henderson, CGTN, Aarhus, Denmark.